In the heart of ancient Canaan, beneath the blazing sun and starlit nights of the desert, a young boy dared to dream dreams so divine they would change the destiny of nations. His name was Joseph, betrayed by his own blood, sold into slavery, imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit. Yet from the darkness of a dungeon, he would rise to command the most powerful empire on earth, Egypt. This is the story of faith, betrayal, and redemption. The story of Joseph, the dreamer who became a kingmaker. Don't forget to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more powerful biblical stories brought to life. Our story begins in Canaan, the land of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob, now called Israel, had 12 sons, but none captured his heart like Joseph, the son born to him in his old age by Rachel, his beloved wife. To show his affection, Jacob gave Joseph a coat of many colors, a luxurious robe, woven with threads that shimmered in the desert light. It was more than clothing. It was a symbol, a mark of favor. But love can be dangerous when it breeds envy. Joseph's brothers saw the coat and the message it carried. To them, Joseph wasn't just father's favorite, he was a threat. Then came the dreams. Joseph told them, "Behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose, and also stood upright. And your sheaves stood round about and bowed to mine. Another night, another dream. Behold, the sun and the moon and 11 stars bowed to me. Even Jacob his father rebuked him." But deep down he kept the saying in mind. The brothers' jealousy grew like a storm cloud on the horizon, and one day it broke. It was an ordinary day. The brothers were tending their flocks near Dothan when they saw Joseph coming in the distance. His colorful coat fluttered in the wind. "Here comes the dreamer," they sneered. "Come now, let's kill him and see what becomes of his dreams." But Reuben, the eldest, pleaded for mercy. So instead of killing him, they stripped him of his coat and threw him into an empty cistern, a deep, dry pit beneath the earth. Later, as they sat to eat, a caravan of Ishmaelite traders approached, their camels laden with spices bound for Egypt. Judah had an idea. "Let's sell him. He is our brother, after all, our own flesh and blood." And so, for 20 pieces of silver, they sold their brother, a dreamer, into slavery. To cover their deed, they dipped his coat in goat's blood and took it to their father. When Jacob saw it, he tore his garments and wept bitterly. "Surely my son is torn to pieces. I will mourn for him all my days." Meanwhile, the boy who once dreamed of stars found himself walking in chains toward a foreign land. In Egypt, a land of golden temples and towering pyramids, Joseph was sold to Potiphar, captain of Pharaoh's guard. Yet even as a slave, Joseph's light could not be dimmed. The scriptures say, "The Lord was with Joseph, and he prospered." Potiphar saw this and placed him in charge of his entire household. Under Joseph's care, everything flourished. But temptation soon came knocking. Potiphar's wife, drawn by Joseph's good looks and integrity, tried to seduce him day after day. Joseph refused. "How can I do this great wickedness and sin against God?" One day, when no one else was in the house, she caught him by his cloak. But Joseph fled, leaving the garment in her hands. Humiliated and furious, she accused him of assault. Potiphar, enraged, had Joseph thrown into prison, a dungeon meant for the king's enemies. From favored son to slave, from overseer to prisoner, Joseph's life seemed to spiral ever downward. But in that darkness, God's plan was still unfolding. Even in prison, Joseph found favor. The warden entrusted him with the care of all other inmates. One day, 2 men, Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker, were thrown into the same prison. Each had a troubling dream. Joseph listened and said, "Do not interpretations belong to God?" "God, tell me your dreams." The cupbearer's dream foretold his restoration, the baker's dream, his execution. And in 3 days, both came to pass exactly as Joseph said. Joseph asked the cupbearer, "Remember me when it is well with you?" But the man forgot, and Joseph remained in prison, waiting, forgotten by men, but not by God. 2 years later, the mighty Pharaoh was troubled by dreams none of his magicians could interpret. In one dream, 7 fat cows were devoured by 7 lean ones. In another, 7 healthy ears of grain were swallowed by 7 withered ones. The cupbearer suddenly remembered Joseph. Summoned before Pharaoh, Joseph stood tall and said, "It is not in me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace." He revealed that the dreams were one and the same 7 years of plenty would be followed by 7 years of famine. Let Pharaoh find a wise man to oversee the land and store food in the years of abundance, Joseph advised. Pharaoh, astonished, turned to his court. "Can we find such a one as this, a man in whom is the Spirit of God?" Then he placed his signet ring on Joseph's hand, clothed him in fine linen, and declared, "You shall be over my house, and all my people shall obey you. Only in the throne will I be greater than you." From prison chains to the palace throne, Joseph became prime minister of Egypt at just 30 years old. As Joseph predicted, Egypt's fields overflowed with grain during the 7 good years. He stored it wisely in great cities. Then the famine struck harsh and unrelenting, spreading across Egypt and into Canaan. Desperate for food, Joseph's brothers traveled to Egypt, bowing before the powerful governor, not knowing he was the brother they betrayed. Through tears and tests, Joseph concealed his identity. He tested their hearts. Would they again sacrifice their youngest brother Benjamin as they once did to him? When Judah offered himself in Benjamin's place, Joseph could no longer hold back. "I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into Egypt." The brothers were speechless, trembling with fear. But Joseph said, "Do not be grieved nor angry with yourselves. You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to save many lives." He sent word for his father Jacob to come, and Pharaoh himself offered them the fertile land of Goshen to dwell in peace. And so, the family of Israel came to Egypt 70 in all, setting the stage for the next great chapter of God's plan. Joseph's story is not just ancient history. It's a timeless reminder that even in betrayal, loss, and suffering, God is weaving a greater purpose. From the pit to the palace. From a slave to a savior of nations. This is the power of divine destiny. If this story moved you, like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe for more stories of faith that inspire and transform.